just a little bit to set the mood. We're really jumping into deep river here.
Deep River. Welcome to Thoughts on Thursday. It's Reverend Miller.
And Stuart Holmes.
And many of you have packed up all your Christmas decorations and lights, and you think Christmas was long time ago. In fact, we're just finishing up the season of Epiphany, and this Sunday is Transfiguration Sunday, and it's then moving into Lent. And you know, Lent and Easter can be at different times, so maybe a little earlier. And so next week, Wednesday, is Ash Wednesday. We'll have our Ash Wednesday service. We're just going to do one service, 7 p.m. here in the sanctuary. For Ashes, because we're in a time of COVID, and Stuart and I have wrestled with this, we're going to do Ashes prior to the service, 6:30 to 7, outside in front of the sanctuary under the porch. And after the service, outside, and I have picked up, I didn't in my hand, but I have Q-tips, so we'll use Q-tips to put the ashes on, and I'll dispose of the Q-tip each time so you have a fresh one. So a little different, but we'll have communion. It'll be a beautiful service.
That's an interesting twist with the Q-tips.
Yes. And hopefully by Wednesday I'll have it all practiced and ready for.
Not on me.
A lot of surface there. All right.
Oh, whoa!
We're moving into Lent, and for Lent we're going to have spirituals, African American spirituals, both in our devotional life and then in the service. And the spirituals they speak to the pain and suffering that we can have here on earth, and they fit well within the Lenten theme. So on Ash Wednesday, we're going to be reminded that we have come from ashes and we're going to return to ashes. The first Sunday of Lent, we hear the story of Jesus being in the desert for 40 days, being tempted. And so Lent is that time of darkness and reflection on our mortality, and also on the struggles and trials that we face here on earth, with the hope and comfort that God is with us in these trials. And so I think it'll be a meaningful time, and also looking at music, right, Stuart, that we sing on occasion, but really isn't a part of our worship service. So I think it should be an interesting time. And so I'm going to share a prayer from Dietrich Bonhoeffer. It's a Lenten prayer, and this is how it goes. I cannot do this alone. Oh God, early in the morning I cry to you. Help me to pray and to concentrate my thoughts on you. I cannot do this alone. In me there is darkness, but with you there is light. I am lonely, but you do not leave me. I am feeble in heart, but with you there is help. I am restless, but with you there is peace. In me there is bitterness, but with you there is patience. I do not understand your ways, but you know the way for me. Restore me to liberty and enable me to live now, that I may answer before you and before men and women. Lord, whatever this day may bring, your name be praised. Amen. And those are the themes you hear in Lent. Reflection on weakness, reflection on our shortcomings, reflection on the darkness of this earth, but also a reflection on Christ's light shining into that darkness. And so we encourage you to join us on Ash Wednesday and also on Sunday morning. We'll be posting Sunday mornings also on YouTube and Facebook for you to worship at home. So Stuart?
Oh man, spirituals, and how does this white person get into that? Obviously, putting aside skin color, it is something of the soul that needs to come out in the music. And I will be the first to admit, not only am I a white person, but my fingers and my approach to organ music and everything is white.
And classical.
And classical. And that being said, there is nothing more powerful than a good spiritual being sung. And one of the things that I wanted to share was the choir every time we get to sing Little Lamb, or every time I feel the Spirit, every time we get to one of those, they can sing it a cappella and they can sing it with gusto. And I often tell them to let go of the traditional sense of, hey, we're in church and this is church music, and let that spiritual live in your heart. One of the things that I wanted to say today was in our hymnal, we have a number of spirituals, but the important thing to remember is that the spirituals was really sung, made up at the time, and it was often coded with different meanings for the different words. In our hymnal, when we sing these anglicized, is that
people say that sometimes? Yep.
Yeah, word music, we forget that these were from the heart. There was no music, and they would often sing of the pain, and it lifted, as music does today, the souls. I wanted to just sing, he never, not sing, but to tell you, he never said a mumbling word. They crucified my Lord, he never said a mumbling word. And that tune, even though I didn't sing it quite right, would have been echoed by a group of people. It had a soloist started that. And then as people got into it, there wasn't a lot to memorize, and it just came forth. One of the ones that we're often singing in our church, well, in most Christian churches, is "Were you there when they crucified my Lord?" And if you think about the words of that, they're very simple. That's, were you there when they crucified my Lord? Were you there when you nailed him when they nailed him to the tree, when they pierced him, and when they laid him in the grave? And that's the hymn. So that's part of the beauty of the spirituals. It's a departure for us, I think, to not focus on holy Jesus and our traditional Lenten hymns. But I'm really looking forward to trying to capture a little bit of the emotional side of the spiritual.
So I think it will be a wonderful season of Lent. The spirituals, as Stuart was saying, are simple in some ways, but profound with the depth of pain and hope you can find in the spirituals. And I think that will come out during Lent. So we encourage you to join us, and thanks for joining us.
As we end, I'm going to play. There's a composer that does jazz renditions of spirituals. Joe Utterback has been to Old Paramus to present a workshop for the Guild of Organists, and he gave us these different tunes, and I'm going to just close out today by playing just a touch of the Balm in Gilead.
Oh, wonderful.
My, what is that? Well, something is wrong. I'm not going to play.
The organ's fighting back, I guess.
Something is not right.
All right, well, thanks for joining us. We'll end a little bit differently, but those things happen, and we have to, maybe next week we'll hear the Balm in Gilead. Thanks for joining us. Have a great day.